Hey, what's up, Castlers? LDF07 here to bring you Let's Castle action. Today's game covers Game 2 between Tillboy and Princessgold1 of the second round of the Shocktober Tournament. In Game 1, Princessgold1 was defeated by Tillboy, when after having a 6-point material lead, he uncharacteristically hung his queen, which resulted in him immediately resigning. Which means Princessgold1 needs a win in this game to advance to the next round, or he will be eliminated. This game began on October 27th and was completed on the 29th. Quick game. Tillboy had the white pieces and Princessgold1 black. Let's see what happened here. Tillboy starts off with pawn to e4. Princessgold1 counters with pawn to e5. You then get pawn to f4, e takes f4, knight to f3, and pawn to d6. And this this particular opening is the King's Gambit accepted Fischer defense, named after arguably the greatest chess player of them all, Bobby Fischer. Pawn to d6 controls the e5 and c5 squares, plus it allows the light squared bishop to develop. Bishop to c4 played by Tillboy targets the f7 square and prepares for a kingside castle. You then get bishop to e7, a kingside castle, knight to f6, knight c3, pawn to c6, pawn to d4, pawn to d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, bishop to b3. You then get another kingside castle, bishop takes f4. Tillboy gets his pawn back. The game continues with pawn to a6, queen to d3, knight c6, pawn to a3, bishop e6, and then rook f to e1. The computer would have preferred Tillboy to go after the light square bishop with knight to g5. But let's move on. Knight h5, bishop to d2, and then we get bishop d6 from Gold, which is a mistake because it would allow Tillboy to play knight to g5, knight to g5. And as you can see, the computer thinks it's a great move. That threatens mate. That's why it's a great move. So then you'd have to play knight to f6, preventing mate. And then you get rook to e6, f takes e6, and knight takes e6, forking the queen and rook. And that's a beautiful position for Tillboy to have. Let's see what actually happened, though. So Tillboy does play knight to g5, great move. Gold counters with knight to f6 to stop mate. But then Tillboy didn't see the rook sacrifice. Instead, he played knight takes e6, and Gold takes back with his pawn. Rook takes e6, and Gold plays knight e7, trying to guard the d5 pawn, but the computer preferred bishop to b8 as a more efficient way of guarding the pawn with your queen. The game continues with rook a to e1, queen to c7, queen h3, king h8, bishop g5, knight to g8, bishop a2 from Tillboy ignored an opportunity to capture a vulnerable d5 pawn with your knight. So, moving right along, rook a to d8, bishop takes d5. Tillboy now takes the pawn and has a 2-point material lead. You get queen to b6, and Tillboy plays knight e2, which is a huge blunder, and you can see the eval bar go from white to black. It's a blunder because it allows Tillboy to lose a free bishop with the play of knight takes d5. Right here, take that bishop. Pawn to c4. Knight c7. Bishop takes d8. Bye-bye, rook. Rook takes d8. And rook e3. But Princess Gold, he missed it with the play of queen to a5. Knight c3 from Tillboy. Gold captures the bishop on the d5 square. And pawn to b4 is a missed opportunity to capture the rook on d8. Gold moves his threatened queen. And Tillboy takes a free knight. Gold takes the pawn and checks the king. He wants that knight back, but Tillboy says, can't have it, with the move of knight to e3. So Gold plays queen to d2, and Tillboy responds with queen h4, putting two attackers on the d8 rook. Gold moves his rook to c8. Tillboy then moves his knight to f5, looking for a mating net. Gold tries to alleviate the pressure with a bishop sack, bishop h2 check. Tillboy then takes the bishop. Rook 6 to e5. Tillboy winning tempo, making Gold move his queen to d7. Queen to h3. Gold takes the free pawn on c2. rook to e6, rook f2, threatening the knight. Tilboy moves the knight to h4, setting up for a possible mate in one with knight g6 checkmate. Gold checks the king with his queen. Tilboy blocks the check with his rook. Then rook e8 by gold is a mistake that does him in because he missed the move knight to g6 checkmate from Tilboy. Great find by him. And Tilboy wins game 2. That's a sweep, Castlers. And that also means Princessgold1 is unfortunately eliminated from the tournament as we take a look at the standings. And as you can see, Tilboy is shaded in. That means he advances to the next round. All the other matches, unfortunately, have not been finished. They've just started, and this one was finished very quickly. So that's going to do it for today's video. I'm Elgadefo7 saying stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.